Penguins beat the Capitals in the home opener 7-6 in overtime, and you know hockey's back now because the Penguins made us feel every single emotion in just 3 hours. From being happy, sad, frustrated, wanting to break your TV, and being back to happy, just every emotion in the book, all in one night. That's how you know Penguins hockey is back. If you guys saw my last video, I said that I wouldn't be doing videos for every single Penguins game, but just to give you guys an example, these are the type of games that I will be making videos for. This was just a crazy, fun, electrifying game. There's so many things to talk about, so let's just get right into it, right? So puck drops, hockey's back, and the Penguins start off really good compared to last year. They were flying in the offensive zone. On comes Malkin's line, and they were running things in the offensive zone. Hagelin over to Kessel over to Malkin, who passes it over to Jamie Oleksiak, who blasted for the first goal of the season, 1-0 Penguins. One thing I want to note about this goal is that Carl Hagelin was a monster on this shift, and it kind of sucks that he won't be awarded with an assist for his hard work, but just remember that Carl Hagelin is a big reason why this goal happened. And then after that goal, the Penguins continue to dominate. Jake Guentzel steals the puck, gives it over to Sidney Crosby. Crosby with a beautiful chance, just needed to wait a little bit longer to beat out Holtby, but Holtby just gets enough on it to keep it a 1-0 game. And that big save led to the Capitals' first goal of the game to tie it up. Just a couple minutes later, Backstrom with a nice wrister, misses the net, off the boards, bounces to Jacob Vrana, and he got just enough of it to beat Matt Murray. And Murray almost slid back to make that save. He got just a little bit on his blocker, but wasn't enough. And just like that, it's a 1-1 game. That goal didn't really affect the fans too much. The fans are still buzzing. But then Brooks Orpik, a minute later, comes in with a slap shot, and it goes through Matt Murray's 5-hole and in the net. And then that killed everything from the fans. It went from being buzzing the first 2-3 minutes after our big goal, and then 2 goals back-to-back from the Capitals. The fans went silent. The first goal wasn't really Murray's fault. This second goal was all on Murray. And if you guys, just to give you guys a little run through on who I am, I'm a guy who always defends the goalie. So when I do blame the goalies, then it's really their fault. I'm a goalie myself, as you can see the pads somewhere back there. Again, I'm not a professional here. I'm not saying because I have pads, I'm an NHL goalie. But all the goalies out there know that the one thing you learn when you start out, wearing the pads, your first practice ever as a goalie, the one thing you know is stick on the ice. They always teach you that. Stick on the ice to block the 5-hole. And the one thing Murray didn't have was the stick on the ice. And then Orpik, that goal should never go in from Orpik. A slap shot from the point, no screen, should never go in, especially when it's Brooks Orpik taking the shot, not Alex Ovechkin. And we all pick on Murray for his weak glove, and honestly, I'm not going to lie, his glove isn't that bad as people want to make it out to be. The one thing I've noticed, and I hope we don't have another problem here, is the stick, is the 5-hole. If you guys remember the famous Kuznetsov goal to lead the Capitals to the 3rd round last year, that beat Murray 5-hole. Nonetheless, though, he's only 24. He has room for improvement, right? And no goalie has the resume Matt Murray has at the age of 24, back-to-back cups, but just little things like that he needs to improve on to be an elite goalie in this league. So let's get back to the game. The Penguins are down 2-1 with a couple minutes later, they get a power play. And as I'm thinking to myself, the second power play unit comes on, and I'm like, why is Jack Johnson on the second power play unit? He makes an amazing pass, well, nothing too crazy, but he makes a nice pass over to Schultz, so he starts the play over to Schultz, who gives it to Sprong. One-timer, he whiffs on it, but then goes right to Jake Guentzel, who taps it in for the tying goal. So the Penguins tied up on the power play. I feel like that's something we're going to be hearing a lot this year. This power play is amazing. So now the fans are buzzing again. The Penguins have scored. It's a 2-2 game. Just for a couple minutes later, the Capitals score again, the 3rd goal of the period. And it's Ovechkin who gets it. He tips in Juice's shot. And no, not Juice, the one you drink. Juice, the hockey player. Didn't even know he existed till now. But yeah, he shoots. Ovechkin tips in his shot, and it's a 3-2 game. And if you guys follow me on Twitter, you would have seen that I actually blamed Matt Murray for this goal. But now that I looked over it, Murray could have stopped it again, just like the second goal. Stick on the ice. Again, a 5-hole goal. Should have been stopped. But Ovechkin should never be all alone by himself there. That was Dumoulin's guy, so that's Dumoulin's fault. But again, Murray should have stopped that. But it's not like the second goal. Second was all on Murray. This goal, you can give it 50% to Murray, 50% to Dumoulin, who should have had his man in Ovechkin. So that's a wrap-up on the first period. Despite the Capitals leading 3-2, it was still a very good first period. Lots of goals, very fun, a good way to start up the hockey season. So then we begin the second period. 30 seconds into it, Sidney Crosby with a shot, rebound. He's doing everything right now. He gets the puck, again, back over to Chris Letang. Letang with a shot, and then it gets his first goal of the season, ties it up 30 seconds into the period, and it's a 3-3 game. Can we just acknowledge the fact that Sidney Crosby's so good? Did you guys see how he picked up this pass from Dumoulin to bring it into the zone? From his skate to his stick. He's the best player at doing that when the puck comes in his skates and bringing it to the stick. I've never seen a player do it better than Sidney Crosby. And then come the Capitals again. 3 minutes later, John Carlson, 2-on-1. Schultz made the right play to slide. That was the perfect play you can make. But Carlson chose to take the shot, beats Murray, of course, glove side. And now here we go. Everyone's going to say, oh, Murray's bad at the glove, blah, blah, blah. But guys, you got to understand the difference of having a weak glove and the difference of an all-star shot. And John Carlson just sniped that bar down. I don't think any goalie would have stopped that. You know, there's a difference between blaming Murray for his glove and just acknowledging a good shot. As the Penguins start buzzing again, Gensel, Crosby go the other way. Gensel over to Crosby, back to Gensel. He has a wide open net, robbed by Holtby, so close. But it's still a 4-3 game for the Capitals. And I even tweeted this, and the one thing I want to mention here is that Matt Murray does not look confident in himself. I don't know what it is. Is it the fact that he allowed 4 goals? I don't know what it is. But every save he was making, it just looked like he was unsure of himself. It looked like he was just trying to, you know, hope that they don't score more than trying to make the save, if that does make any sense. Even when he had the puck, it looked like he's just like, please, Lord, don't let this be behind me. You know, usually as a goalie, you're supposed to be confident. Again, because I'm a goalie myself, something I do know is that goaltending, a lot of it is confidence. You need to be confident. Obviously, you need the skill, but obviously every goalie in the NHL has the skill. What separates the great goalies from just the good goalies is the confidence. And that's something Murray had when he went back-to-back cups, is the confidence. And you saw that in every save he made. Even when he allowed the goals, he looked confident. Now, I hope Murray can find his groove again. You know, it is only the first game of the season, playing the Washington Capitals, who have a great team. I believe in Murray. Again, I've been saying this all offseason. I'm going to say it again. I believe in Murray. He's still young. There's things he can grow on, and he's gonna improve these things. So as the period is winding down, Patrick Hornqvist behind the net finds Chris Letang, who takes the shot. Jake Gensel with the tip, gets his second of the night, second of the season, and ties up the game 4-4. Something I hope Jim Rutherford does is re-sign Jake Gensel now, like as fast as you can. Start talking with him and his agent, because if you wait any longer, if you wait a season, you know, he might go from making $5 to $6 million to going up to the high 7 million range, which I don't want. Again, call me crazy, but if Jake Gensel scores 60 points, 30 goals, and has another crazy playoff run, and who knows, maybe the Penguins win the cup and he has a big part of it, is that not worth 7.5? I mean, right now he's worth 6, I'll say. 5.5 to 6. Lock him up long-term right now. Don't wait a year, because then it's going to turn from 6 to 7.5. I don't want to see that. And just a minute after Jake Gensel's goal, Derek Brassard makes it 5-4, gives the Penguins the lead. And this is a common trend in this game. Goals are coming back to back. And now the one thing I want to say is that this third line is great. This is the best third line, in my opinion, that we've had since the HBK line. Every time they were in the offensive zone, they were creating chances. I hardly saw them in the defensive zone, and that's because they were always in the offensive zone. And that's all thanks to Derek Brassard. He's not a third-line center. He's a second-line center, but putting him on the third line, obviously, allows him to play against weaker competition. A guy like Brian Rust, who's such a great player, they work well together. And then a guy like Dominic Simon, I called him Simon in one of my other videos, and someone corrected me. Yeah, it's Simon, the French way. But yeah, so this line of Simon, Brassard, and Rust is a great third line. And Simon had a great game. A lot of people hate on him, and I even went on a Twitter rant about this. There's no reason to hate on this guy. He's a great hockey player. He's only 24, and he's going to be a solid player for us. And he definitely showed it in this game. He's going to be a great player along with that third line. I hope it sticks, man. I really liked what I saw from that third line. He's a good player who had a great game. You know, he played just under 10 minutes, and he was very useful in those minutes that he was played. All right, so let's go down to around 7 minutes left in the third period. The Penguins were pretty much dominating this entire period. I thought it was going to be a win, 6-4. You know, it's over. Let's just get the win, pack it up, and get ready for Montreal on Saturday. But no, Evgeny Malkin just wants to make things interesting. He could have went and made the easy, simple play off the boards and out. Kids, if you're watching me, off the boards the boards are your best friend. Use the boards all the time. Anytime you can, use the boards and out. But Evgeny Malkin goes up the middle of the ice for no reason, gives it to DJ Oshie, who comes in to the slot by himself and roofs it, you know. Glove side, of course, glove side, past Matt Murray, and it's he cuts the lead to 1. And just like the John Carlson goal, this is not Matt Murray's bad glove. It's a great shot from a great player. Again, I'm gonna admit, if Murray ever has a goal that he allows that's bad, like for the glove, and it's, you know, all his fault. You saw me, I blamed him on the second goal. I'm gonna be clear with you guys. I'm gonna blame Murray when it's his fault, but this goal is 100% on Evgeny Malkin. You can't just be giving the puck away like that to one of the best shooters on the Capitals. And obviously, he's going to make us pay. And then just like 20 seconds later, I wasn't even looking at the TV. I was on my phone because I got a message. I just hear TJ Oshie scores again. I was confused because it was high stake. They said no goal. I saw the ref waving no goal. So I'm like, okay, we're good. And then just 10 seconds later, he says good goal. I'm like, what's happening here? I don't know why they changed it. They said it was no goal. It looks like it's a no goal. For me, it looked like it was above the crossbar. But then they just changed it to a good goal. And then they even reviewed it. And they still kept it as a good goal. And then with a minute left, a Penguin gets a breakaway. I was looking, who is that Penguin? I see a 7. Malkin, Crosby, Hornqvist, Jack Johnson. It had to be Jack Johnson who gets a breakaway. He didn't even get a shot on the net. He obviously misses. I don't even know what he was trying to do there. Can you imagine how epic it would have been if Jack Johnson scored the game winner here with a minute left? Obviously, it's too good to be true because he didn't score. So just like that, it's 6-6. We're going to overtime where the Penguins get an early power play, 4-on-3. And I was like, there's no way the Penguins don't score. 4-on-3, there's too much talent. There's so much space on the ice. And of course, the Penguins make the Capitals pay. Chris Letang with the shot beats Holtby. Crosby with a great screen, like always. And Penguins win 7-6. Now, let's talk about Chris Letang here for a little bit. He had an awful first period. So I'm like, not again. Chris Letang, he's back at it again. I was hoping he would bounce back, but he bounced back in the game because he had he had an okay second, okay to good second, and a great third, and then, got 3 points. It was vintage Chris Letang, some terrible things that lead to goals, but then he scores or creates some great offense to lead to our goals. He scored 2 goals, including the overtime winner, had a primary assist. In my opinion, Chris Letang played amazing tonight. I mean, take away the first period. Other than that, his last 40-something minutes of the game, he was phenomenal. He was almost like the Chris Letang we saw back in 2016. Now, if we get less of the first period Letang and more of the third period Letang, we may have ourselves a pretty good Chris Letang this year. He left me and the rest of the fan base with a lot to look forward to because, in my opinion, I think he had a great game, minus the first, like we said. But other than that, he was not even bad defensively. So if he could just keep it up and build from this game, we may see a really good bounce back here from Chris Letang. All right, now before I wrap up the video, I do want to say some final thoughts on the game. Let's start with Murray. Murray didn't have the greatest game, but I wouldn't give up on him just yet. Obviously 6 goals, not the greatest performance, but he made some good saves. And it's just the first game of the season. I think, we just need to be patient with Matt Murray. I think he just needs to gain more confidence, and I think that's going to come with him making more saves, winning more games, and as the season comes, as the season goes along, he'll just be more confident and hopefully get better. Now, on to the next thing I want to talk about, and it's Daniel Sprong. He only played 6 minutes and 47 seconds tonight, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but if we're going to use Sprong like this, just trade him now while you can. Get some value for him, because it's obviously not worth it. I would say if you're going to play him 6 minutes a night, just send him to the AHL. But no, he's too good for the AHL. He did that last year. He needs to play this year. So Mike Sullivan, it's either you play him, give him chances, let him make the mistakes to get better, or tell Jim you don't want to do that and let him make the trade. I mean, I've had enough of this. I saw a tweet saying he only got 2 shifts in the third period, and I noticed that because Russ was taking his spot on that third line. There's no point of handicapping yourselves in doing that. You're tiring out a guy like Russ. There's no reason to do that. So trade him or play him more. And I would love for you guys to play him more because I don't want to see Sprong traded. Yes, he's bad defensively, but how do you expect him to get better defensively? By not playing? No, you gotta, now that the games don't really matter as much as they do in April, play him as much as you can, like play him 15 minutes a night and let him make the mistakes to learn. And then you make a mistake. It's just like life. You make a mistake, you come back and you learn and you're better. I'm just going to leave it at that. But I just want to say, please, Mike Sullivan, play Sprong more or trade him now. I don't want to do this the whole season. I will be keeping an eye on Daniel Sprong and his ice time. And I'm going to keep on bringing it up if it doesn't change. And finally, let me get to Jack Johnson. There was a lot of, I guess you could say, disappointment when we signed him back in July. A lot of people calling him a bust already. Worst contract, but he wasn't that bad tonight. He played just under 22 minutes tonight, and that was second among all of our defensemen, obviously first being Chris Letang, who played 25 minutes. But he was not too far off playing 22 minutes. And again, it wasn't 22 minutes of bad hockey. It was 22 minutes of, solid, not bad hockey. He played on the power play. He played on the PK, played a lot of 5-on-5. If this is the Jack Johnson we get and he doesn't get worse or doesn't get better, this is the one we have for the season and for the next 5 years, I'm okay with the signing. It's worth 3.1. And he's obviously going to be more useful come playoff time. I can already see this is the guy Mike Sullivan is going to be playing. He kind of reminds me of the Ron Hainsey / Ian Cole. He's going to play him in all situations. And, you need a guy like this to win a cup. We've seen it, both years. After the first game, my first impressions here, he's not that bad. He's pretty good. I'm a fan of this signing so far. A lot could change. There's still a long season. But a lot could change, positively too. He could get better by just getting used to the system. So, very interesting things here from Jack Johnson. We should keep an eye on him because, like I said, he's not playing that bad. And that's going to wrap up the home opener. Huge 7-6 win over the Washington Capitals. Defense looks sloppy, but we have 81 games to fix that. Offense looked great. Power play looked great. Murray was shaky, but again, he has 81 games to fix that. Overall, very fun game to watch. Now we have next up the Montreal Canadiens in Pittsburgh Saturday night. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Give me your thoughts, on the Penguins play tonight. Something you liked, you enjoyed, things they can improve on for the next game in Montreal or in Pittsburgh against Montreal. And again, thank you for watching. I'm going to see you guys in the next video.